Well, hello everybody. Welcome to the Primetime Movie Network. I am James Primetime Thomas here coming at you with another video. It's been a while. It's been a while since I did an actual singular video on this channel. Of course, if you haven't, don't forget to check out me and Paul's live reaction to the 2013 version of the Evil Dead franchise. Evil Dead 2013. I kind of fumbled there, but who gives a damn? But before we get started, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Also, hit that notification bell. And of course, don't forget to share this video as well to any of my movie fans out there. And tonight, I want to talk about a movie that I watched over the weekend, this past Friday night, actually, to be exact. And it is Evil Dead Rise. Evil Dead Rise, one of the more highly anticipated horror films of the year. I remember when the trailer first dropped, a lot of buzz, a lot of talk, a lot of scatter about this movie, and I remember Paul would always talk about it. Always like, oh my god, the trailers was so awesome. The trailer was so fucking good. Oh my god, you gotta see this. So fucking good. So good. Now me, I have not watched the trailers because I've kind of gotten to a groove now where. Let me say it like this, okay? I went to the movie theater to see this film. This is probably like my third or fourth film I've seen in the movie theaters this year, and I've really been enjoying. Because this year alone, I've gone to the movie theater more times than I ever have in these past couple years, and I've been enjoying the movie theater experience because because I haven't gone in so long and I'm going as frequently now. It's more fun, but also too, I've kind of gotten into this little habit where I go into these movies completely not knowing anything, not seeing the trailers, not seeing any TV spots, completely nothing, been avoiding everything. And I think that's probably for the best because once you see a trailer, especially today's modern trailers, which I totally understand, I totally get why they do it, they show all the good bits in the trailer. They show all the scary, spooky, cool parts in the trailer. I totally understand. You gotta put ass in the seats is the way to do it. But while you do that, you kind of take away, you kind of put that expectation. If you're putting this crazy stuff in the trailers, oh, but that means it's going to be more crazy stuff that we didn't see. But 9 times out of 10, you see that, oh, they already showed all the cool stuff in the trailer. So it's not as impactful, it's not as exciting anymore. One of the first things that made me not really watch trailers anymore was the Halloween 2018 trailer. We all remember the scene when Michael was in the closet attacking the blonde babysitter. You know, she tried to close the door, she wouldn't close. She opened it, there he was. You know, gotcha, bitch. You know, I felt like that scene would have been 10 times more impactful if we never saw it. Think about how iconic and how much of a landmark scene that scene in the film would have been if we did not know Michael was going to be in that closet. But when you see it in the trailer and then you see it in the TV spots and you see it in the movie it takes suspense out because once you see the girl, you're like, oh, I know who's gonna die, when she's gonna die, and where she's gonna die. So I can't get emotionally attached because I just know, again, she's gonna die, when she's gonna die, and where she's gonna die. So since Halloween 2010, I kind of backed away from watching trailers, but enough about that. I want to talk about Evil Dead Rise. Now, Evil Dead franchise, I'm not going to say I'm a die-hard fan of the franchise, but I enjoy the movies. I enjoy the first Evil Dead, the second Evil Dead, Army of Darkness, Evil Dead 3. I enjoy all those films. And the reason why I could say I really enjoy those films because they're definitely a lot different than your stereotypical horror film. Yeah, there's a little bit more campiness to it. Has a little bit more of a sense of humor about itself. But when it gets gritty and dark and disturbing, it could get there. It could get there very well. It could be very effective. And And me and Paul, we watched the 2013 Evil Dead film, which is on this channel. If you want to go check that out. And and yeah, and the one thing I really enjoyed about Evil Dead 2013 is the mood, the atmosphere, the sense of dread, and the creepiness that that the movie had, and the creepiness, the disturbance, the shit that'll make you itch. You know what I'm saying? That's where Evil Dead really specializes at. And I went to see this movie Friday night. Uh, that in itself is a story, but for those that are in the know what I'm talking about. I'm not gonna say it live on air ever, but I saw this film in the movie theater, and by the way, the movie theater I was in was packed. I When I got a ticket, literally there was only about like 3 seats left, and it was in the very front. Right, the whole stadium was packed, which is a great thing. A lot of people would. That means the marketing worked. Trailer teasers out to work. Word of mouth worked. People wanted to go see it. I think it went on to make 45 million, if I remember correctly. So I saw Evil Dead Rise, and my thoughts on it was, I liked it. I liked it. I thought it was a nice, fun, scary, creepy horror film. The movie takes place. Well, the main point of the movie takes place in this apartment complex, and we're basically it's centered around this family. The single mom, who's all over. It's her right here, who eventually gets possessed. Her sister and her 3 kids basically trapped in this apartment building while the possession happens. And I will say that what I really enjoy about these Evil Dead films, and this one included, the movie's only 90 minutes. It's a strong 90 minutes. And the one thing I always appreciate about the Evil Dead films is that it does its bullshit. It does the bullshit. It gets straight to the point. No filler, nothing. It just gets right to the center, which I can appreciate. Now this film, maybe I could have liked a little bit more. I mean, we got enough, but I would have liked it a little bit more story of the relationship of this family. Like I said, we got a little bit of it, but it's kind of nice if we got at least a couple more minutes of diving deep. I would have liked to learn a little bit more about the relationship between the mom and her sister, um, and a little bit more background behind their relationship, because this movie from jump, it just goes right into it. Like, you won't really have time to breathe. It just goes straight into it, which is actually kind of refreshing because you need that horror film sometimes. There are some horror films where it works and some horror films where it doesn't work, where you need to have a point in time where you kind of want to care about the characters. You need some time to get to know the characters so you care about them. You don't want to see them die, Was there anybody in this movie that I cared about? Maybe the little girl, the little daughter in the room. I cared about, mainly because I think kids and horror films, you know I'm just kind of that way, like but there was still anybody I cared about compared to 2013 with Mia, I believe her name was, and the whole story about her being on cocaine and she's having withdrawals, trying to kick it. I believe that storyline was a little bit more engaging. But what made this movie work, for me, the explanation of how the demons come out when they find the book was done a lot better here than they did it in the 2013 film. Now, of course, I'm not going to spoil the film. It's a movie you got to watch on your own. But I like how they made it make more sense in this film, the 2013 film, because I was really pissed off at that dude that got the book, cut the book open, and was going out of his way to read the book when the book was written in there. Don't read this. Stop reading it. And he kept reading it. In this film, Evil Dead Rise, it made a lot more sense. Made more sense. Um, so that one I liked, and once the movie gets going, it's going. And the highlight of this movie is the lady here, the single mom who's basically the possessed person throughout the whole film. She gives a great performance. She gives a really great performance, and it's also funny because before she even gets possessed, she kind of has that face of an evil bitch. I'm sorry, but she just kind of had that face where you're just like, she'll stab you in the back once your back is turned, right? So you kind of you kind of see why they chose this particular lady. I'm sorry if I don't know her name, but you see why they kind of chose her to be the possessed woman because she just had that face way before she even gets possessed to not trust her, and she steals the show. She steals the show for sure when she gets possessed. The effects was fantastic. That normal Evil Dead creepiness was there. There were some scenes where I was legit went, ugh. One scene was involving a cheese grater. A cheese grater. Now, people in the movie theater, when it came to the cheese grater scene, went, ah, all that stuff. Me, I'm kind of numb to it because let's not forget, me and Paul did a reaction to Terrifier 2. Terrifier 2. And we all know what happened in Terrifier 2. It involves bleach, skin, eyeballs, all that fun stuff. But yeah, I thought the effects was fantastic. The overall mood, I like the setting of the apartment complex. It felt more claustrophobic compared to a cabin. Because an apartment complex, you're literally trapped. You're literally trapped in this apartment complex with this evil entity that's trying to kill you. That's trying just to rearrange your face. One of the creepier moments of the film, I could spoil this real quick, is when it looks like that she dies, and they got her in the bed, and I believe her sister tried to close her eyes, but then when she tried to close her eyes just like immediately, like immediately open, right? They just pop open, no music, no, they just pop open, and that kept happening. And I gotta give the director of that. Like he did a really, really good job of making the scenes uncomfortable, disturbing. The ending I thought was fine. I like what they did where the ending was pretty much the beginning of the film. Like that little twist they had. There's one idea that they had in the film, in the ending, which sounded cool. The movie's practical for the most part, but there's a certain creation that they came up with, which sounds cool, sounds creepy on paper. I thought the CGI was a little wonky. I thought it was a little on it. A for effort. But I was kind of yeah, wish looked a little bit more practical. But all in all, though, I enjoy Evil Dead Rise. I think it's a fun horror movie to watch. I definitely say it's worth going out to watch in the movie theater. It's a fun time. I had a great time watching it in the movie theater again with a whole stadium room full of people, which was really nice. They were very much into it. Where I rank this film, shit, I could probably give it a. Because there's not really many things I really hated. I mean, which was a little bit more story. I'll probably give it a 7.5 out of 10. 7.5 out of 10. I think it's a really, really solid entry to the Evil Dead franchise. Should you say Evil Dead franchise is one of the more consistent horror franchises, right there with Scream? You really can't name a horror movie franchise. Can't name a horror movie franchise where every film is solid. Evil Dead, you really can't find one. Scream, you really can't find one that isn't solid. Even Scream 3, I don't like Scream 3, but I won't say it's dog shit, you know. But yeah, if you're a fan of if you're a fan of the Evil Dead franchise and you're a fan of horror and you want to see a good solid horror film, I definitely recommend this. It's a good time. It's a good time. But yeah, hit that like and subscribe. Let me know your guys' thoughts on Evil Dead Rise. Did y'all like it? Not like it? Let me know in the comment section. And yeah, I'll see y'all later. And I'm out. Peace.